Нормально дела. Ничего нового особо. Со вчерашнего дня ничего не изменилось. Это уж точно. was a big mistake playing with renewal. With this shit, I was getting kited a lot, and I'm not used to playing it at all, so I misclicked at the start when I wanted to charge.
все, что вокруг нас, это и есть время. А мы с тобой. Подожди. Я хочу посмотреть на тебя.
Ну, тебе нравится то, что ты видишь?
Good morning. Back with a few TPC Pharaoh questions.
Я
If you're
думала,
down
что
for that.
знаю
Yeah,
твое
man, sure,
лицо.
go ahead.
Оказывается, в нем есть то, что я раньше не замечала.
I played Pharaoh through season 1, season 2, and more main, and then took a break and came back in season 4. You mentioned Pharaoh is trash or like pretty bad pre-Sunwall gear, and yeah, the difference is big, but yeah, it is trash before season 4. I mean, it gets better in season 3, but in season 1 and season 2, it's like really bad. I mean, in season 2, it's probably alright if you play in like Alliance, you play Pharaoh Rogue, you can crush shit, because no one's got resilience. Maybe season 2 as well, but again, on Alliance, playing Pharaoh Rogue. You know, I never really did that. I never played Alliance Pharaoh Rogue. I was played Pharaoh Rogue in season 4 on Horde. It's way better in my opinion. Like, the playstyle you have to go for when playing Pharaoh Rogue on Alliance is pretty dumb, I think. It's not as enjoyable as Pharaoh Rogue on Horde. Because it's like on Horde you can do stuff. On Alliance you just zerg shit down most of the time. I mean, not quite. There's still strategy involved and all, but I don't know. It's, I guess, a matter of personal preference. I like it more in Horde. I managed just fine early season, I feel. Same with like Petra X and Spotman, even though they dodged and sniped a lot. That's true. But that might be because we played human and elf, and openers were big, then yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, exactly. You can really play it on Horde in season 1 and season 2, because you don't have the perfect opener every time, and whenever you do get a shitty opener, you're just dead in that opener pretty much. It's really hard to recover, and you can't, like, you don't have that spiky burst damage because your gear's shit. So like, you can start playing Pharaoh Rogue and Horde, I think, or other comps too, if you're playing Horde in like season 3 comfortably. I mean, season 3 is still pretty shitty. Like, you're gonna lose most games against good players just because your class is weaker. Maybe your comp is weaker. In season 4 though, when you get the Sunwoo gear and all, then you can play stuff. Like you can play with healers. Again, it's not gonna be great, but you can do it and you can play it, have some fun. Yeah. This shit is so annoying, dude. I'm not sure how to play against it. I think I have to go Warlock more, otherwise I can't do shit. But I can't really go Warlock, like, it doesn't make much sense. I can... Look at this. I'm not doing any damage at all. Yeah, I'll probably just have to reset now. Wait for bubble again and shit. Wait for damp. Nah, this damage is ridiculous. Might actually do something here. Yeah, this probably did. Okay, we can kill him next go, I think. Have to do a really clean go though. Even if we even like make it till the next go, do the next go, which I don't think we may not actually. Gliding Warlock here, hopefully. Fuck. He's dead. Should be dead. Fuck you. Man, fucking Destro Warlocks are so annoying to play against. Especially now that they have like more than one fucking... what do you call it? Infernal. That shit is annoying, dude. Like one was it annoying enough? Now they have a bunch. Привет, в чем твоя мотивация играть в это? Привет, это хороший вопрос, я сам не знаю. Я просто не знаю, что еще делать, если честно. Я последние годы играл в Warcraft, сидел дома, ничего особо не делал, ни к чему не стремился, там, ничем не занимался, не увлекался. И поэтому не знаю, что делать еще просто. В принципе, иногда мне нравится играть, иногда это весело. И в целом, такой образ жизни, как у меня, у него, конечно, есть свои минусы. То есть я там постоянно дома сижу, у меня друзей нет особо так в реальной жизни. Ну, то есть есть какие-то друзья, но они все в основном в других городах живут. То есть я с ними часто не встречаюсь. Свои плюсы, свои минусы есть. Меня в целом устраивает такой образ жизни. И как-то поэтому вот так и живу. Не знаю, короче, в чем мотивация, честно говоря. Ты не работаешь. Ну, я бусты всякие делаю, чаров продаю, голду продаю иногда. Ну, что-то так продаю, короче, в игре тоже. На это и живу. What's your highest rating? On Feral, the highest rating was like 2.6k. But I mean, I've been playing Feral for like basically a month. Maybe a month and a half or 2 months on BFA. And my highest rating was, I think you were watching the stream, is when I was playing with mode. We were playing priest Pharaoh. That was like the highest I've ever been on Pharaoh. Right, what the fuck do we do here? Probably just rock them. Or try to. Dude, this is gonna be so hard. I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to do, to be honest. Okay, I crossed, it's fine. Jesus, man, fucking damage, chill out. Smell the shit. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck to beat that. Seriously, no fucking idea. I guess I'm just killing Warlock then. Paladin is already going in there. Okay, I got a re. Meld that shit. I don't know, dude. Okay, I have sack, I didn't notice. I don't know, I think we're done. Shit. I really have no clue. No fucking idea what to do against this shit. Playing Pharaoh is really fun, to be honest, and outside of arenas it's show in terms of leveling and tanking in PvE, considering if they ever do retail TBC. Yeah man, for sure. Pharaoh is the shit. TBC Pharaoh is like so much fun. It's like it's not the strongest class by any means, but it's fun to play. It can be fun to play, at least, that's for sure. Especially if you get that gear. Не работает. Да почитаю твой вопрос, не переживай, просто по порядку читаю. Не работаю. Сколько лет? 26 исполнилось недавно. В смысле, инчара, я говорю, сколько месяцев выходит выхлоп? Да какой выхлоп месяц? Там по-разному бывает. У меня нету каких-то там, сколько в месяц выходит. Немного. Мне много и не надо, как бы, но вообще немного. По-разному. Когда-то нормально, когда-то не очень. Когда Warmane был, вообще неплохо выходил. Я не знаю, там сколько, я просто никогда и не считаю, и сложно так сказать. Типа, я не знаю, если я комп купил, там, потратил на это тысяч, наверное, 100 с хуем, может. И вообще в целом были деньги тогда. Сейчас тоже есть деньги, но как бы немного просто. Не знаю, по-разному. Блять, такой бред, пиздец. Не заебало играть против этого говна всякого. Только начал, уже заебался. Всякие дистролоки или шамы. Какая хуйта. Сейчас друида, если скин можно выбить. Если получится, можно заехать потом будет. Если доживем, может убьем за следующий заезд. Узбеки, какая мета на арене в первом сезоне БК? Интересно, как это будет выглядеть на офе после классика. Ну, сложно сказать, потому что там другой патч будет. Там будет не 2.4.3, а, скорее всего, 2.0.0 или какой-нибудь там. Там еще все по-другому было. Я не знаю как. Я не играл тогда. Я играл только на 2.4.3. Торопился я все-таки с заездом по друид. Damn nice English. What's your job / school if you're so good at English as Russian? Nah. Hold on, man, I'll answer you after this game. Dude, this class is such fucking cancer, I swear to god, I can't fucking hit him, I can't escape from him, I can't do shit. At least he's not burning my healer, I guess, thanks for that. Okay, there we go. What a fucking joke, man. I have to go pallet more. I haven't played Pharaoh for a while too. Like, playing this DK is so fucking annoying. Okay, she rejected me. That bitch. Kick him again. Скажи, плиз, перкосик, ты будешь играть там? Возможно. Посмотрим. Если ничего лучше к тому моменту не будет, то да, наверное. Если будут получше варианты, то лучше поиграю что-то другое, потому что на классике нет арены. Хз, что делать вообще? Фармить гир для того, чтобы потом фармить гир, чтобы потом чуть-чуть гира пофармить. Такое себе занятие, по-моему. Job/school? I don't know, man. I guess you want to know about how I learned English, as good or bad as I did. Well, I don't know. I was studying at school, in like elementary school or whatever. In 5th grade mainly, I picked up the basics, like grammar basics, and then, you know, I haven't been using it at all, and I basically stopped going to school since like 6th or 7th grade. I mean, I would still go there and, like, you know, hang in there, so to say. barely making it. And then at the age of 16, I went to Egypt and lived there for about a year, and that's how I learned how to speak, I guess. And I also forgot to change my drink. So yeah, I was living in a hotel for like a year almost. Talking to whoever I could, tourists, staff, you know, anyone. My stepfather was also helping me a lot at the time, because he spoke English fluently, so he would teach me stuff, or at least I always had someone to ask, you know, if I wanted to know something. That was really good. Fuck, he didn't have rip on. My bad. Again. Ugh. Pre-walled this, but I'll trinket it. Yeah, that's damage. So yeah, I've lived in Egypt for almost a year. You know, living in a hotel was so nice. Actually, it was like probably the best period of my life, to be honest. It was so much fun because, like, my stepfather at the time was the general manager at that hotel where we were living, and so I was allowed to like do whatever the fuck I wanted. I was 17. I just finished my high school. You know, life was so fucking good. Imagine living in a 5-star, huge fucking resort, right? Yeah, resort hotel. Where everything's free for you, you can do whatever the fuck you want. You can go to any restaurant, you can go to the beach, you can go to the pool, you can go party, you can do like whatever. At the same time, learning English, meeting people, you know, it was the shit, man. So it lasted for like 10 months or so. I had a lot of fun there. And that's also where I learned how to speak English. Then what happened? Well, then the revolution happened in Egypt. I don't know if you guys know about that or remember that, but back in like 2010, I think it was. Holy shit, it was actually 2010, I think. Yeah, the revolution happened in Egypt. And there was like the change of government and all that shit, and you know, we had to come back for Russia, me and my mom. My stepfather stayed trying to find a job there, but it was really hard to find a job doing what he did, which was hotel management. He was like a top hotel manager or whatever. But since you know, things weren't so good in terms of like politics and all, tourism started to suffer from that. And so most Russian tourists, which is like the majority of tourists in Egypt usually, they were not allowed to come to Egypt, to go to Egypt by the Russian government, I suppose. I don't remember all the details, but basically, yeah, the touristic sphere, or touristic whatever, the tourism went down for a few years. I'm not sure how good it is now, but yeah, basically my stepdad was struggling to find a job, but he ended up finding one, and I stayed in Russia, started studying in the university. That was it. Then I quit short after. And when I speak, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I shouldn't be going mage. Jesus, chill out with the damage, dude. Thanks for the sub 10. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, I'm having a hard time focusing on both speaking and playing right now because I'm not as good in Pharaoh and at this game in general, so I can't really do both at the same time. Pharaoh makes me want to cry. Nah, I just play like shit, man. It's my bad. I need to repair before before my gear gets broken. And yeah, and so then, you know, I came back from Russia, started studying in the university, which was also, I studied hospitality management. I was gonna get a bachelor degree, but I never graduated. I quit studying like the last year. I couldn't take it no more, man. I was basically forcing myself to go there and to do all that since I started studying, pretty much. Maybe 2 weeks after I'd started, it already became a fucking torture for me. Couldn't do it. So yeah, eventually I couldn't continue doing it, so I quit. I'm gonna try and play this game actually. That some buff. Short clown here. Bash him here, maybe. Kick that guy. Clone shirt. Okay. My pallet went AFK. Oh, there's some quests in the meanwhile. Pharaoh isn't that bad, it's just that there's a lot of broken shit at the moment. Yeah, I guess. No, Pharaoh is not bad, for sure. Like, it's no enhancement shaman or something. Like, if you think enhancement shaman is really bad, and then, like, there's a few more specs that are kind of bad. Although, not that many actually. Like, Rogue is good, Rogue is insane, as always pretty much. Monks are good, LA Shamans are good, Warriors are good, DKs. DKs are fucking insane, obviously. What else is there? Shadow Priests are good. Mages are good. Basically only enhancement shamans are garbage right now. Everything else is playable and is good. Like Demon Hunters, great. Okay, my palo went offline. I'm not sure what I'll do next. Yeah. Doesn't look like I have too many options besides L of G again. L of G on disc, I guess, is what it's gonna be. Fuck off. Gotta go, was fun watching, good luck. Yeah, man. See you next time, I guess. Maybe. Anyway, have a good one. I do 0 damage, I don't know. Well, just have to learn how to do damage, I guess. Because Pharaohs do pretty decent damage. For me, the big thing was, well, kind of, was making sure I have my rip up as much as I can, like maximize basically the uptime of rip on, at least on my main target. Like, it's not gonna, what I'm about to show you is not gonna give you a huge like DPS burst, but it's gonna help a bit, I guess. So what you want to do, like, is you rake, and then you apply rip, like 1 CP rip, 1 combo point, and then you use this shit, which I forgot what it's called in English. I think some sort of frenzy or something, feral frenzy or whatever, wild frenzy, I don't know. So that's gonna give you 5 CPs again, and then you bite, so it prolongs your, like, the duration of rip on your target. Like, what I do in the opener most of the time is I'll open on someone. Okay, I'll show you in another mode. Like, imagine this is arena, right? This is the DPS guy, for instance, and I want to open on him and like start building my pressure on him. So what I'll do is, well, he has 3 CPs up now, but imagine if he had none. I open him, like, I use my Tiger's Fury, and then I rip. I do that so that my rip does 15% more damage, because it increases the damage of your abilities throughout its duration. So I hit the guy, I use Tiger's Fury, I rip with 1 CP, then I use the frenzy thing, which Tiger's Fury buffs that also. So like this thing does more damage too. And then I Ferocious Bite. So it prolongs the duration of my 7 seconds rip, or however long it is, from 1 CP. I think it's 7 seconds. A bit longer if you get a crit. Now you can get a crit actually when you open. So yeah, it prolongs it, and then from then on you just keep, like, you need to keep the rip up on your target all the time. By biting, not by actually using rip, because like if you have this shit, then your bites will extend the duration of your rip. And then like this will give you some DPS burst. Like if you're not doing it this way already, I suggest that you do, because like it sort of maximizes your DPS or damage output. And when you do it this way, you can start applying pressure from the very start of the game, and then you can go for some CC on the second guy, or like on a healer for instance, or you can also bleed up the. It depends on what you're facing. Sometimes you wanna just tunnel single target, sometimes you wanna keep your bleeds up on both. I don't know. When you're splitting damage, you wanna keep your bleeds up at all times on both targets. That is most of the time it's not that difficult. It's pretty easy, especially if they stay close. Then it's like really easy. Then you also need to use this shit. Like when I started playing Pharaoh on BFA, I was not aware that this shit dealt more damage than Shred, and it actually costs less energy. So I was not aware of it. I thought it was just like a whatever, you know. You just pick whatever the fuck and not use it in PvP. Is what I thought it was. Then I realized that it actually deals more damage than Shred and costs less energy. Therefore, it's very efficient. It's like it's more efficient to use this than Shred. So when you're going for some damage, you want to make sure you use that. And like if you can, or at least what I'm trying to do is, whenever I can, when I get the proc, like the clear cast proc, I always want to use Shred or this shit, this AoE. I don't know what it's called in English. Thrash, I think, because they're costy. They cost like 40 and 45 energy, I think. Shred costs 40, and Thrash costs 40 as well. So if possible, you want to use one of these on your clear cast procs, and not this thing. I also don't know what it's called, because, well, I guess you can see why. It's pretty obvious. because you want to use it, like you want to spend your actual energy on that because it costs less. Don't really know what other tips I could give you on how to increase your damage output. Just keep your bleeds up if you're cleaving. Keep your bleeds up on like both targets as much as you can, and rotate Tiger's Fury and Frenzy. Then when you get a main proc, I mean, I don't know what kind of traits you're playing, but I'm playing with main traits with this shit. I only have 2. I'm missing one in my shoulders, but 2 is already good enough, I think. It's still gonna do a lot of damage on proc. So you're just bleeding up, using your Frenzy and Tiger's Fury to get stuff going, and then like usually I'll use them and start. Both of them I'll use them and start, and by the time they come off CD, I'll probably have my main proc, so that I can do a proper go on something. And the way I do goes is I'll wait for the proc, and then on a target that's bled up, I'll maim, like get 5 CPs up, maim the guy, which will do a lot of damage. Then like I can use my Tiger's Fury and Frenzy again while the guy's stunned, and then I can restun with, or my pally will restun. I don't know, it's not easy for me to to speak about this, you know, because almost every game I'm pretty much just swinging it. I'm not really that good on Pharaoh, I think, right now. So I just, you know, just see how it goes in the arena and do whatever I can, I suppose. Yeah, you need to maximize your mastery. This is your main stat. You want to maximize your mastery and then crit, then haste. That's the stat priority for you. Well, agility, I'm not sure where agility takes place in this sequence, but yeah, agility should be pretty big too, because like it's that is your main stat, and it increases damage of all your abilities. I guess it's first agility, like you want to get as much agility as you can. Probably no, because then you would be gemming it. 2, so suppose it's mastery, then agility, then crit, or like mastery, crit, agility, something like that. Well, let's just, for now, let's take the agility out of the equation. Other than agility, you need mastery. First you maximize your mastery, then crit, then haste, then versa. The more mastery you have, the more damage you'll do. So mastery is really good for you. If you're running at 30% mastery, then your damage, like I'm not surprised your damage is shit.
Каждый раз умиляясь, сколько раз об одном, каждый день о своем, и всему удивляясь, словно грязью бросаясь с каждым прожитым днем.
I'm thinking if I should play priest, because I'm gonna have to play, like, I'm gonna have to find someone to play with in the LFG. None of my mates, I think, can play right now. So it's gonna have to be LFG again, and that's pretty annoying. So maybe, because I gotta go in like an hour. So I'm thinking if I should just, you know, do some shit in Pharaoh, maybe do some fucking world quests or whatever to get some AP, because my neck level is pretty low, I guess, at this point. Like some people already have almost level 60, I think. I don't even have 55 for the small essence. And yeah, since I'm gonna have to go in an hour, I think I might just grind some AP on my Pharaoh, maybe play a few BGs. I think I'll do that. Yeah, it's the gear I got from Najatar. Mythic spam, I guess. Here I come. I guess. There's some really good gear you can get in Mythic. In Mythic Plus, like in Mythic Dungeons. So yeah, as I said, your best piece of gear will look something like this ring. It's actually really good. Because it gives me crit, which is like my second best stat, and mastery, which is the main stat. It gives, you know, 289 mastery, 184 crit, you get the idea. Like, it's really good. And you know, there's a lot of gear like that, I think, that you can get in Mythic Plus. So if you can, you know, because I just, you know, I don't go after all that gear in dungeons. I just play arena, basically spam arena, and do weekly plus 10 mythics for the chest. But I guess if you're not that good in arena, you can get some gear through yeah, mythic dungeons. What am I using? Tiger's Fury? Well, it depends. Pretty much on CD, actually, now that I think of it. It's good to use it before your procced maim, or like prior to your procced maim or frenzy, because it's gonna increase its damage by 15%, which is pretty good. But yeah, pretty much on CD. Sometimes you wanna, well, I wanna keep it and save it for my go, so that when I do a go, I can like maximize my damage output. But if you're just cleaving shit, then, well, when I'm cleaving shit, I just use it on city pretty much. Then when I see that I can set up a go, sometimes I'll save it for that go. Also, as I mentioned, it's good to use it before you rip, before you apply your rip for the first time, because then your rip will do 50% more damage, 15% more damage. Like, as you keep renewing it by using Ferocious Bite, it'll still be doing that increased damage even if you don't have the Tiger's Fury buff when you're biting. Does that make sense? I don't know. Guess since I have to go anyway, I'll show you on a dummy, because I'm not sure if you're like if I'm making myself clear. trying to find the quest. This is weird. I want to find the quest for this essence. Blood of the enemy. There's supposed to be a quest, right? Oh no, it's actually an achievement. Anyway, what I wanted to show you is this. If you rip without Tiger's Fury, let's see how mine will tick for. Like if I rip without Tiger's Fury, it will tick for 41. Yeah, 4180. I think it was. 4130, right? And if I do it with Tiger's Fury, then it'll do increased damage. See, it does 47. And it'll keep ticking for that much if it was applied with Tiger's Fury when you had the Tiger's Fury buff on. So it's good to use your Tiger's Fury, as I said, prior to applying Rip on your target for the first time. Cause like right now I can drop the Tiger's Fury and it'll still be doing that increased damage. When I refresh it with Ferocious Bite as well, it'll keep doing that increased damage, which is good. I actually noticed that some high rated pharaohs don't seem to be doing that at all. Like they don't care. I mean, the difference is not that big, to be honest, so maybe it's insignificant, but still, you know, you do less damage if you don't do this thing. Not by a lot, but and also when I'm cleaving in the arena, when I want to keep my bleeds up on both targets in twos. Like for instance, sometimes I'll have like 2 or 3 CPs. Let's assume that my main target has the bleeds up, and now I need to bleed the second guy. What I will do most of the time is I'll use this 3 CPs to rip right away, so that the rip starts sticking right away, and then I'll rake and shred and stuff, get 5 CPs and bite to extend its duration. Like, you see what I mean? I do it so that my rip starts sticking right away, as opposed to, like, even if I'll have 1 CP up, if I know I wanna cleave, I'll use my rip like right away as I switch on the second guy. I switch to the second guy, right? Doesn't have any bleeds up. I have, say, 1 CP. I'll rip him right away, and then rake, and then shred, and blah blah blah. And then I'll bite him to extend the rip duration. That way I also do a bit more damage. than I would if I wanted to. Or it depends, like this is more complicated because sometimes you kind of need to know, you know, if you're gonna be hitting the second guy a lot or not. Because if not, then you might want to just get 5 CPs and rip him, immediately go back to your primary target. But if you know you're gonna be like jumping between them and you wanna just maximize your damage, then well, I usually choose to rip first. I thought Liz killed all snapshotting. I don't know what that is. What's snapshotting? I don't even know what this word means actually. And I assume it has a different meaning, you know, when used in this context. But yeah, like it I don't know what it means, like originally even, let alone in WoW terms. And yeah, by the way, the song is slow-mo rock music, as Holy Jedi, who apparently has a side gig of being a music bot on my channel, I guess, from now on, pointed out. That's true. Snapshotting is when you apply buffs before bleeds, so your bleeds take those effects. Oh. Well, apparently, no. Apparently they didn't. Maybe they did at some point, but then they reverted it or something. Because, I mean, I just showed you how it works, basically, on a dummy, like you guys saw it. Yeah, it's weird because, I mean, you saw it, right? I'd applied a rip with the Tiger's Fury up, and it kept doing more damage, right? I mean, I can retest it to like double to make sure, you know. But I'm pretty sure that's how it went down. Yeah, I think it may not work with with your stats, with your attack power or agility, but it works this way with Tiger's Fury. Man, I hate fucking BGs. I think I only like this game for the arena, basically. Like in BFA especially, I'm only interested in the arena. Like I don't give a fuck about any other aspect of the game at all. And I find them well, boring, I guess, to say the least. Annoying, frustrating to go through, grinding, you know, gearing up. I was just thinking about it. I was just thinking about it today, and I thought that basically I CBA doing all this shit even IRL. Like, I don't put too much effort into, like, you know, leveling up, so to say, my main character, which is, I guess, Bogdan. And they want me to like spend all my time to gear up my ults, to do all that shit, to do all the grind on all my ults, because I want to play multiple characters. I don't want to play just one character. But apparently to do it, I'd have to, like, I don't know, just no life, big time. Kinda hate it. I realize I probably did a really poor job at getting my point across. At least I could phrase it way better. I don't know. Point being, man, I wish I could just play arena and not do any of this. Like, okay, I don't mind the Mythic Plus once a week. That's fine. That thing is okay. It's dynamic, it's fast-paced. It's alright. I can tolerate it. But all these fucking world quests, essences grind, all this garbage is so annoying to me these days, especially when I'm playing BFA, because I guess I don't get that much of a return from the game. I don't know how to say. Like when you do all this shit in the game that you actually enjoy, you sort of, it makes sense, because like at least afterwards you enjoy the game, you're having fun. But when you're not enjoying the game as much, it just feels like a fucking, like a torture basically. You do all these things and then you do it to like to keep getting fucked by the people that farm all this PvE shit, or DKs, or demon hunters, the rest of druids. I remember when I was farming my Blood of the Enemy essence. I was doing it with my paladin, like with a paladin that I just played with. And so we started doing these BGs. And the very first BG, we were both like, who the fuck even plays this shit? Like, seriously, who can seriously enjoy playing this shit? We both were so disgusted with this whole fucking BG affair. Look, he's getting, like, I can't even fucking pierce through the statue healing. Will you fucking die already, mate? Jesus, that didn't even take 5 minutes. I mean, I don't know, to each his own, but for me and my friend, for both of us, these BGs are such a fucking pain in the ass. Every arena player needs a casual playing friend who like farming shit on the same character. Yeah, that would be nice, of course. That would be nice. I remember when I just started playing WoW. I was maybe 15 years old back then. It was 2008 summer, I think. And I was playing on some Russian server. And on that server there was like arena did not even work on that server. It was a local small server. You know how some ISPs, like internet service providers, have some game servers for different games? Like I don't know if that's even a thing anymore. I don't think so, but back in the day they would do that thing. So like those ISPs would have some servers, like some game servers that you didn't even need internet connection to connect to. Like you only needed your LAN connection. So it was one of those servers. I don't know how to explain it any better than this, honestly. But yeah, it was a very small, maybe 100 people would play there, all from this ISP all from my district. And this was the first WoW server I ever played. This is where I first played WoW. And so I was playing on that server. There was no arena, and so at the time I was just leveling my warrior. I started leveling warrior, I think, and then I traded it in for a druid. That's not the point. I was just leveling back then, and maybe, I don't know, duel in Duratar, because that was always a thing in TBC. And I was just like really enjoying the game. Like I was not even playing arena, and I like really enjoying it. Leveling, you know, just doing all these quests. I was 15, you know. It was fun. And so I had a friend that was playing retail at the time, and he was like already grinding all the resilience gear, the PvP gear. He was doing BGs. He was I suppose playing arena as well. I don't know. He was like not a very good friend of mine, just some buddy. And he was playing on retail TBC at the time, and we had a conversation where I was basically like telling him how much fun I was having leveling and, you know, playing, and he was like, yo, you should level me a warrior, dude. Like, if you enjoy leveling so much, why don't you just play on my account on retail and level me a warrior? I was like, yo, that would be insane, dude. That would be so nice. I get to play in retail. I get to like experience all that stuff, you know. Playing on retail, huge server, a lot of people, a lot of fun, I suppose. And so yeah, he suggested that I should level him a warrior, I think, if I'm not mistaken, or some other character. I think it was a warrior. So I was going to be leveling up his character, but ended up never happening for some reason. I don't remember why. But that never happened, and I continued playing on those Russian private servers, eventually getting into the arena and all. And as soon as I started playing arena, man, I just quit playing anything else. I mean, I was still dueling, because dueling was like really big at the time. I remember like there would be fucking huge crowds of people in Duratar. All this beef about who's the best player and who's like the best dueler and all this shit. Shit was fun. But yeah, ever since I started playing arena, man, I started regarding everything else in game as just like a way of actually playing the real game, which is arena. Like, everything else is basically preparation for that. He won't stay your friend for long with BFA. No, I mean, you never know, you know. It's like, I'm 26, right? And I've been playing this game for a long time, and I'm not as excited about it anymore, like at all. So I'm not really excited about playing BFA, but you know, if imagine you're a kid that's like 14 years old, but it's not gonna be the same, because back then, like, WoW was actually really big. Right now, WoW is like this shitty game. I think. It's like it's a game that, like, in 5 years only fucking grandparents will be playing, basically. Only old, nerdy fucking dudes will be playing this game in 5 years, I think. People that started playing it 15 years ago or some shit. as opposed to when I was a kid. The game was really huge, and everyone was so excited because there were not too many games like that back then. But yeah, I was making a point that you know, maybe for some 12-year-old or some shit, playing and actually like gearing up a character, grinding all these daily quests and world quests or whatever, doing PvE, doing PGs, maybe for someone who's not as experienced with the game and doesn't have his priorities set as I do, maybe that person would have fun playing BFA too. I don't know. Dude, I always wished I could clone myself. Like, imagine how fucking good would it be if you could clone yourself? If you had the same exact guy, except it would have to be unconscious. It would have to be like a doll, pretty much, because otherwise it's like double the suffering, right? But then, if you could clone yourself and just have that guy, like there was this movie in Soviet called Electronic. I haven't seen it, but I think that's what it was about. Like the dude had a copy of himself that would go to school for him, that would do all the annoying shit for him. How nice would it be? You'd always have a guy you could relate to, or he could relate to you. You would understand each other's perfectly. That'd be the shit. You'd be grinding your fucking Azerite neck, PvEing on your character, doing all this annoying shit. I was similar, started just before TBC. I've come back multiple times in different classes and just only do basic gearing to arena. Yeah, same man. I mean, I don't know. Arena just makes the most sense to me as a game format. World PvP is annoying because, you know, you may not want to participate in it. It's uneven, unequal. Your opponents will oftentimes have better gear, or you'll be outnumbered, or you may not even want to, you know, partake in that world PvP. Like world PvP is a shitty format in my opinion. BG, same shit. I guess rated BGs can be fine. Like rated BGs can be interesting because you're playing against people that actually like voluntarily queued. They know what to expect, and I don't know how to explain, man. You guys all say my English is really good, but no, it's not. As I've been talking for the last hour, I was just thinking, I had this thought like in the back of my mind that, you know, my English is not actually that good. My accent is fine, I guess, which is uncommon for a Russian, I suppose. But my English could be way better, I think. Because I'm struggling a lot to actually you know, express my thoughts and to speak my mind in English. Accent is fine, but Everything else is not so good in my opinion. I mean, I think it's a matter of practicing it, which you know, these days I don't really practice English all that much. I mean, I still watch videos in English and all that shit, but I don't speak as much. I only speak English on stream these days, and sometimes when I play arena with some of my non-Russian friends. Ah, he's gonna kill me. Would you play retail TBC? What do you think you'd play, DP? I probably would. I mean, it's hard to tell, because if it came out now, I definitely would. But if it comes out in like 2 years, I'm not sure, man. I mean, for how much longer can I live this kind of life? I don't know. The answer is I don't know. But yeah, if it came out now, for sure I would. And I would probably then proceed to play on Wrath if they released it, if they like kept going with it, you know. And play on Kata as well. I would just play it all over again, I guess, because I kind of missed missed a lot of things, man. But yeah, what would I play though? I'd probably play Priest. Maybe Warrior. Then, you know, later on I'd probably play Feral as well. Or maybe in like season 3 I would like create a druid character, you know, start leveling it up a bit, playing it, so that by the time season 4 rolls on, I could actually play Pharaoh and start grinding PV gear on it and all that. I'll be right back, guys. Half my team is Russian, your English is a lot better, man. Don't stress about it. No, I'm not really stressing. Just saying. Also, I've always had this thing where I keep thinking that I used to speak English better, but that doesn't really make sense. Lately I haven't been getting it a lot, but I remember like a few years ago I would get this a lot, where I would think like, damn man, my English is not as good as it used to be, what the fuck? Like I don't speak as good. But that's not true, I guess. But yeah, speaking of retail TBC, man, on one hand I want to play it, but on the other hand I'm starting to think that, you know, maybe I've played enough. Maybe I've played enough of this shit already, man. On the other hand though, man, I don't know. I only know that I cannot give you like a definite answer as to whether or not I'll be playing TBC when it comes out, or if it comes out, like on retail. I don't know. Well, we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, I remember you having the most depressing talk with Sesamizi about wasting your life playing this. Really? I don't remember that. No, I mean, I've had those. I've had a number of those talks, for sure. But you know, fucking whatever. On one hand, yeah, you know, you're wasting your life and blah blah blah. On the other hand, though, if you're enjoying what you're doing, then it doesn't matter what it is, I think. I mean, as long as you're not hurting others. Then how is anything else better than that? Like, it's good to, you know, to try and make it in this life, or whatever by the way, whatever the fuck that means. Like, different people will define it differently, but some people will define it, let's say, you know, it's good to have as much money as you can, or like to fucking fuck as many bitches as you can, which is the dumbest thing to me personally. Who the fuck even has that kind of approach? But okay, I get it. But how is that better than doing something that you enjoy? I don't see that. And I was enjoying playing this game for a long time. Not so much lately, if I'm being honest. I kind of enjoy streaming and like having these kind of talks because, well, it's nice. I like this. But the game itself, especially BFA, man, fuck this. I enjoy it less and less. Yeah, but okay. Maybe life isn't just about enjoying what you're doing all the time. Wouldn't it be better to do something that might not be very enjoyable for the moment, but in the long run makes your life much more richer? Maybe, I guess. I don't know, dude, but playing WoW all in all to me is a waste of time. But if I do other productive shit to compensate, I don't really mind. I don't know, man. To be honest, I have no idea. To each his own. All I know is that, like, I think I'm the kind of guy, like, I don't really go along with efforts. I don't put too much effort into anything, really. I mean, I put a reasonable amount of effort, actually quite a lot of effort, into something that I love and something that I enjoy, but then it doesn't even feel like efforts, you know what I mean? Like, I might be spending so much time and whatever, I can put all of my attention to something which on paper is efforts, but I don't see it as such. Like, I'm happy while doing this, It's not a travesty to me, or not travesty is not the word. I don't know, man. I don't know how to explain this, but I guess you know what I mean. It's pretty simple stuff. I also think that I'm a kind of guy who, when I do something, I kind of dedicate like everything to it. You know what I mean? Like, I cannot do this for a bit, then this for a bit, and assume that doing this is gonna be good for me in the long run, and do a bit of that, a bit of this. I'm not that kind of guy, I think. Like, it's like by nature I'm not like that, and I don't see why I should change that and why I should go against that. Why I should, change myself, so to say. If this is how I go about life, then fuck it, so be it. To me, this seems like something way more natural than the opposite of it. Constantly forcing yourself to do something, because that's what I would be doing if I were to do other stuff. If I were to do stuff that I don't necessarily enjoy doing, stuff that I think is gonna get me something in the future, but not in the present. I would be forcing myself, and I can only do it for so long. I know that for sure. shortly put, I'm all about effortlessness. And that's why I loved, I guess, playing TBC so much, because it came naturally for me. Like, I loved the game, I was enjoying it so much, I loved playing it, that I didn't, to the point where I didn't have to, you know, make any efforts, and then the shit would just flow. And there would be no me trying to achieve this and achieve that and struggle my way through this so that I can do that. Or none of that. To me, that is nonsense. I mean, I get it, but I'm just not that kind of guy. Being an all or nothing type of person is a good thing, I think. You learn quickly what works and what doesn't. Not necessarily, and not from my experience though, at least. I mean, I guess. I don't know. I'm not sure what you mean, like, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm not sure, like, what do you mean it works, as in, how do you define it working? I sort of get what you mean, but not really. I assume I do, but do I really know what you mean? I doubt it. Come to another ring server? Nah, man. I don't think so. I remember playing retail TPC and trinketing sap as soon as I get sapped ruffle in arena. Not a good move. But I guess you know that already. That reminded me of one occasion where I was playing, I don't remember with who, with one of my friends on BFA, and he'd also just started playing BFA recently at the time, and he was like, he was getting into using adaptation, and he picked it against the rogue. He's like, okay, adaptation is gonna be really good here against the rogue team, and then he just gets sapped, and it broke adaptation, and he was like, oh fuck. Okay, I fucked up. That was fun. I used to be heavy into partying and drugs, and by doing that all out, I sort of quickly learned that, okay, I can be doing this shit long term, nor do I want to, but my friends who did it semi a lot still does it to this day. Big ramble? No, it's not a big ramble, it's okay. I mean, I guess just people are different. is what I can make out of this. Is that like all people are different? Some people can do stuff, you know, a bit by a bit of that, a bit of this, you know. Like my sister, for instance, I don't really, fuck, I'm slow. I haven't talked to her as much, but I mean, me and my sister is a different story. It's another story for another time. It's an interesting story. I think I've told it once on stream. But anyway, she once told me that she was doing drugs now on weekends, and she was just fine with it. She was only doing drugs on weekends, and that was what she always wanted, right? How she always wanted it to be. To just, you know, sometimes do some drugs. Basically, I don't know how to put all this shit into words, man. I'm having a really hard time doing it. But anyway, yeah, she told me that, and I just can't do it, you know. I'm not that type of guy, because I've also done some drugs, you know, in my day. I can't do it like that. It only works like that with psychedelics, but I mean, it's only natural that it does because of the nature of the drug, or drug, quote unquote. But with other drugs, I couldn't really do like a little bit at a time. You know, if I would go at it, I would fucking go at it, dude. I couldn't really stop. I guess I have some kind of like obsessive personality, and it doesn't only apply to drugs, but basically to most aspects of life. If I do something, I go at it. I prefer to dive deep into it and occupy myself with that thing only, pretty much, which is not a good type of personality when it comes to drugs. But I guess I was fortunate enough to understand that, yeah. If I keep doing this shit, then as you said, in the long run, it's not gonna turn out well for me at all. And so I kind of quit. Not only for that reason, I also had some health issues. But yeah. We're actually gonna lose this one. But it's a complicated question. Like I'm thinking, you know, people are different. Some people are obsessive, some are not obsessive. Some can do multiple things. Some prefer to focus on one thing. Some people will prefer like deepening their knowledge, for instance, about something. And some will just prefer to know many things superficially. The question I'm considering right now is like, do we have to change? Like, for instance, if I'm an obsessive type guy, do I have to change that? Do I have to like work on myself and change it? I don't know. Or do I have to just accept it and accept that this is, you know, this is how I am, this is what I am, and just keep rolling with it? I'm tilting towards the second one. I don't think changing your nature is a good thing, but especially as long as you don't see that it's harming you. Like if you see that it's harming you, then I guess there will be no such question. I don't know, man. These are some vague talks and topics that are probably, it's not the right time and place to talk about these things. Who knows, actually, maybe it is. Yeah, this is some metaphysical shit. That's some Twitch chat type of stuff, I guess. Yeah, kind of. Probably, yeah. I mean, it's just, it's hard to talk about these things, especially in this sort of format. You know, where we don't see each other's and like there's delay between. I don't know, it's just not easy to talk about these things in Twitch chat. Gotta be honest. Not that I totally don't mind talking about, and I actually like talking about these things and like considering them, you know, thinking about it as I talk about it. I like it, but yeah, the setting might not be quite right for that. Although, I think on this stream we've had some nice conversations about all kinds of shit. It doesn't happen that frequently, because most of the time I'll just be sitting silently, trying to not suck at BFA. All these days. Or back in the days, chilling, listening to some nice music. You know, enjoying being in that state of flow while playing TBC. But yeah, from time to time, we had some nice conversations that at the first glance most people would not expect, I guess, to happen in this sort of setting. And I like when this kind of conversation happen, because, well, as I said, I like talking about it. I like thinking about it, discovering it for myself too. It's not like I consider these things all the time. From time to time as well, but yeah, it's always nice to talk about something that's not so like day-to-day based, you know, something that's not quite in the ordinary day-to-day casual realm. Anyway, I think if you can change yourself into a better person, living a better life, then you should. Your nature, like this is who I am, is often a way to label yourself into not doing it. Yeah, I can see that. like not taking responsibility for it. Doesn't have to be tough. Guess you'd have to be honest with yourself. Yeah, man, I see your point. I guess to an extent, it can be that, but then again, it's hard to define, and it's hard to tell, especially. It's hard to tell what it is actually, whether it's, you know, whether it's quote unquote my nature or it's just a way of escaping responsibility or whatever it may be. It's hard to tell before you actually try and do something about it, I guess. So I guess that yeah, that could be something I could take out of this conversation at least. That, you know, at least you gotta try. And then, because yeah, as I said, I think it's not always obvious what it is. And you gotta just see it for yourself, test it for yourself. In my case, you know, in regards to some things, I did go the distance, so to say, and tried doing certain things against my own will or whatever, and it never worked out, so I don't know. I always came back to my initial conclusion that, you know, nah, this isn't my type of thing. But then again, is it because it's fucked? Yeah, it's this is not about even the context of the or the setting of the conversation. It's just a difficult question, I guess, in general. How do you know what it is? Like, even if you have done something about it and you've seen, have you, like, maybe you just gave up too early, or you can, you know, you can always make shit up, so to say. There's always reason to doubt, so it's hard to actually define anything in this world, to be honest. Like, it's not just these things, like, but I think when you go deeper into, like, anything, you realize that you don't know what the fuck what the fuck is what and what's going on and how do you relate to all of it truly. Anyway, I think I gotta go now. I'll probably stream some more later on, maybe in a few hours, maybe in an hour. I don't know when, but probably today. Yeah, thanks for the conversation, man. Thanks for watching, guys. Those of you that were just watching, I guess. Thank you guys as well. As I said, might be streaming more today. I'll see you then.